Hey everybody, welcome to Cowboy Leather and Shoe Repair. I'm Scott. We're shooting from another part of the shop today. We're shooting from the office. What I want to talk about, I haven't seen any videos or anybody talking about it. If there is, I don't mean to repeat, but everybody, we talk about how much should we charge to do our stuff, make our products, how much I charge to do this, or how much I charge to do that. That's a great thing to understand. But you got to understand the advertisement end of it. Getting your name out there. Your potential customer does not know who you are, where you're at, and what you sell or what you do. So you have to get your name out there. Going to craft shows, that's a great idea. It lets people see who you are, and what you're offering. But if you don't hit the craft shows or in between, you got to somehow advertise. When I started out in the leather end of this business, I put ads in swap and trade papers and in different publications where I thought pretty much a lot of people would see it. Well, it didn't really work out. I even a couple times had put little in the ad, put a coupon, or had put a coupon, bring this coupon for $5 off, $10 off for a shoe repair, or bring this coupon in for a free shine or something like that. It didn't seem to work. So I thought, hey, what can we do? So I had some business cards made up, and I went to one of these companies that make signs. Well, I got me 2 signs, magnetic back. They would stick on my truck or on my car or whatever I was driving. I put them on, got them. I put them on my truck, and my wife and I, we went to town, and we get out of the truck and heading into the store. Had people walk up, hey, you do shoe repair, blah, 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 asking a whole lot of questions, and I just reach in my pocket and hand them a business card and say, here, stop by and see us. Well, we went into town one time. I think we were in there for probably an hour and a half, 2 hours, and we went to a couple different places, running errands. And at each one of them, they'd see that sign, and they'd want a business card. So in one day, the first day, I think I passed out like 15, 20 business cards. I didn't really hear anything, back from anybody. And I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. What I did is, when I first started out, brand spanking new, not knowing anything, I went to Tandy and I got myself a few tools. I believe it was a double shoulder of leather. And I made my wife a purse. And I wanted to put a horse head on it. Well, I had a swivel knife, got a swivel knife. That was the first thing I ever carved and, finished in. Well, she was working away from home, and people would see it, and people liked it, and pretty soon she would be coming home going, here's a phone number, Mrs. Jones wants a purse, or wants a price on a purse. So, by making that purse, my wife using it, people seeing it, was like a business card, per se. So that's when I say, you got to get your stuff out into the public, let the public see it. And, your business is going to start out slow, but it will start out. Now, getting back to business cards and signs, the signs and business cards, I think were the best thing that I did, because people would see the sign and they would jog their memories and go, oh, I got a pair of boots that need to be fixed. Can't find anybody to do it. I got this, I got that, whatever the case may be. You don't have to get real fancy on a sign. I haven't got one of my. I got one pair of signs left. I don't even put them on a car anymore because I don't want to scratch the paint. But you have to get something out there. You have to be visible. That's why I say, business cards, signs. Another thing that I started doing is the pieces of leather that were too small for me to use for anything else. I would cut. I got a clicker die for a small key fob. I'd make them key fobs, and I had a stamp, maker stamp. I stamped my maker's logo on it, and I would hand them out at craft shows or whatever I happened to be doing. And I had some in the truck, and I'd give them out to people. It's something that they can, use, and they will go, well, wait a minute. I need this done. My boots are tore up. Where's that key fob? Where's that business card? Now, I've got people that are coming in that are still carrying the business card. My very first design for business cards. I've got people still coming in with those. Going, we forgot about it. My son tore his boots up, or whatever the case may be, whatever scenario. They dug the card out, found it in the bottom of their purse, in the bottom of their junk drawer in the kitchen, or whatever the case may be. Boom, there it is. And, you have to get yourself out there. You have to come up with some kind of idea to keep your business fresh in somebody's mind. That's why I say, with the key fobs, it cost me $2 to make. I'm making it out of leather that would probably get thrown away. But it's big enough that I can make the key fob, a rivet, and a, key ring. What? I'm out $2, $3. If somebody has that and calls me to make them a handbag, fix their shoes, I paid for that. I do most of my leather goods and whatnot, I sell on eBay. I'll slip a key fob in there with my maker's brand on it. And I've had people contact me outside of eBay. And, special order something. So that kind of advertisement is what you need to do. And building a reputation. Now, reputation is way up on the chart. You have to get a good reputation. You have to be honest. Don't rip your customers off. Don't overcharge them. And, be consistent in what you make. Stand behind your product. And if you're out selling, we'll say on eBay, right now I have a 0 claim rate. I've held that now for probably 3 years. And that means that when I make you buy something from me, it looks as close to the picture that's posted on there as possible. No flaws, and if there is any flaws in the leather or in the workmanship, I mentioned it in the introduction on the ad. So building a reputation is very, very key, in my opinion. And again, don't rip your customers off. Don't overcharge them. If you make a key fob, and you try and get $75, $100, there is no piece of leather. There's nothing on that key fob that would allow you to charge that much money. Because if you're making anything, like, you should be, if you're making a lot of anything, you should be making or buying your stuff in bulk. Don't buy 10, 15 if you're in the market to making 50 to 100 key fobs and selling them. A rivet, key ring, and a piece of leather, if you've got $3 invested in it, not counting your time, then I've seen people try and get $45, $50 for a stinking key ring that they have $5 maybe invested in it. And that's even including your time. Now, if you're getting that kind of money and you're making $40 an hour, then I wouldn't be able to afford you. Yes, your time is valuable. But anyways, I'm getting off on a rabbit trail here. So anyway, I highly suggest getting yourself visible, doing something like business cards, signs, just taking, we'll say, a key fob, making a bunch of them, and hand them out. It will pay you back double and triple if them people come back. And, if word of mouth is another thing, and that's where your reputation falls into play. If you do a good job for somebody, if you do shoe repair, if you do whatever, and you take extra pains to go above to make the customer happy, they will tell their friends, their family, that go to church and tell, their friends at church about you. And hopefully, when they tell them, it's positive feedback. So, really, the advertisement, you can charge whatever, but if you don't have a customer base, all that calculating and whatnot, figuring up your prices and making stuff is worthless. And, guy I kind of looked up to, his theory is you can't sell if you don't have, if your wagon's empty. So you got to have something to sell, and you got to have people know who you are, what you're about, and what you're making. With those and fair prices and customer support, customer service, what more could you ask for? It's not rocket science to figure out what you need to do to make your business succeed. I've had people call me and say, "Hey, I can't. I'm in leather. I've been in it for a year and a half, 2 years. I can't sell my stuff. Come buy me out." And I'll ask them, "What do you do trying to sell your stuff?" "Well, nothing." or I may go to do this or go do that. But it's costly to go to craft fairs. You got to spend a little money to make money. So that's just my rant, my feeling, and I think it's pretty sound advice. Reputation, be fair, treat your customers right, advertise, let people know who you are and where you are. And, you know, I've heard people say, well, I won't put my maker's mark on my stuff. Well, no, you don't put your maker's mark dead smack dab in the middle of a purse on the front flap. You find a place inside discreetly put it. You know, your major makers, put a tag inside the purse. Louis Vuitton, they got their LVs plastered all over the product because that's the way they're making their stuff. You know, when I make a holster, you're only going to see the front side. So I put, you know, my maker's mark in the back, under the belt flap or wherever. There's another maker that, you know, he hides it in one of the pockets of his wallets. Now, if you're making for a tax store or something like that, where you're making your product for them to sell, then no, I wouldn't put it on there. But if you're making your product and you're going to sell it, you should have a maker's mark on it somewhere, hitting discreetly. That's all part of your advertisement, because that wallet's gonna wear out someday, and they're gonna look through it and go, "Oh, cowboy leather. Oh yeah." Get on Google. Where's cowboy leather at these days? Or whatever. You know, there you go. Get yourself established. Put whatever you got to do to become a business on Google. You know, where people go, shoe repair, leathercraft, near me. Your name pops up someplace in there. It's all free advertisement. And if you got a Cricut, you can print out your own business cards, design them. I don't have a Cricut, and I buy 500 to 1,000 cards at a time, and that lasts me about half a year. I pass out that many cards. So, you know, and I think they'd cost me $49, $50 for the cards. But I see it this way, that in the long run, my cards are out there, and I make that money back when these people come and, you know, get their shoes fixed, or, you know, come in and buy belts or whatever the case may be out of leather. So that was just on my mind. I've been thinking about it for the last couple of days, and I figured, I got some time. I'll sit down and you take it as a rant, take it helpful, whatever, however you want to take it. But I'm just telling you how I started and what I did to increase my business, get noticed, and basically, as they say, the rest is history. So, it's getting close to quitting time. So, I'm going to get out of here. And I hope everybody has a good week. Stay safe. And we'll see you next week for another whatever. Cowboy out. Bye.